5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I am going to be talking about the worst movies that I have seen so far this year. I don't know if it's just me, child. I don't know if I'm alone, but 2024 has been pretty lackluster as far as new release movies. But we are about to get into the absolute worst in this live today. I do not have a top 10 best of the year at all, and it's already July. Like, I ain't got nothing. But I got some worse. But guys, make sure you are active in the chat. Let me know that you are here. Drop your worst movies of 2024 so far. And if you're inclined, attach $1 to your comment. Don't just show up for a good time and not support. Let's get some engagement going, child. I will be ranking these from least worst to worst. And this video will include some spoilers. I mean they're terrible movies, but some spoilers, so be forewarned. I will also be doing a separate video for channel members on the movies that hit my D and F list, did not finish. So if you want the movies that were so bad I could not even make it to the end, then look out for that one. But let's see who we have here in the chat. Hey, pretty girl Danny, thank you for popping in and being in our live. But let's get into it. The worst. Okay, what am I doing? Here we go. The worst movies of 2024 so far. Oh my Lord, y'all. Okay, so number 10, Baghead, the least of the worst. So Baghead is a horror movie about a young girl who has been estranged from her father, right? Once he dies, she ends up inheriting the pub where he lives and works. But ownership of this pub has a few strings attached because it includes a woman chained up in the basement. Baghead is a pretty typical, like, cursed horror plot. We have the usual elements here: trauma storyline with the estranged father, black or blackish BFF learning about the curse, thinking you can outsmart or break the curse, cheap jump scares, very predictable. There is just such a lack of creativity with this movie. You have this witch-like creature who can give you time with your dead loved one, right? But she's trapped in this basement, and of course she wants to get out. And there's also this stranger they add, and just everything involving him is very, you could just see it all coming a mile away. He pops up wanting to, like, use the Baghead lady and simultaneously explaining all of the rules and everything involved to the new young lady who owns it. Baghead is very reminiscent of Talk to Me in the sense of there being a time limit, and if you go over it, then, ish gets out of control. The thing that's, doing the possession starts to take a lot of the control. So very reminiscent of Talk to Me in that sense. And number 9, No Way Up. Lord Jesus, talk about a disappointment. This might be one of my biggest disappointments of the year. Like an idiot, I was really hyped for this. If I remember correctly, this was in my video for my most anticipated 2024 movies. We have a plane that crashes in the middle of the ocean, trapping survivors. Their air is running out, and there are sharks trying to kill them. I feel like a premise like this should have worked for a trapped in the ocean with deadly sharks and a crash plane plot. The movie is really mundane. Of course, we are here for the sharks, which don't look very good. Like, the effects ain't good, and y'all know I am not a stickler for effects. So if I say they don't look very good, they don't look good. We couldn't even get good shark action here. The movie is also just idiotic. So one of the people in the plane is like the governor's daughter, right? So we end up having this rescue that comes, and we have two divers who communicate with each other using hand signals because we're in the ocean. But the diver doesn't understand the hand signals when the survivors are trying to tell him there's something behind him. That scene really took me out because the survivors are literally looking looking through the window like, and the diver's just like if someone is doing this, I'm going to look behind me. Then after we have this little girl in the crash, right? After she done seen people die in the crash, she done saw the diver get torn apart by a shark. We send her away to a dangerous area where there's water in the plane, aka where the sharks can get her, because we don't want her to see us trying to help and keep the guy alive who she just saw get his leg ripped off by a shark. I don't. What was we trying to protect her from? I don't know. After letting the oldest guy here, who's like the bodyguard, stereotypical character, do all the work and go risk his life to get oxygen tanks, we discovered that the young, fit person, useless behind person, has been training for a triathlon. So why have you just been sitting here, sir, doing nothing? And then we have these ridiculous moments where every character pretty much gives a useless sob story, backstory. This movie just let me down so freaking bad, y'all. It's just No Way Up. Just it hurt me. I really wanted a good shark movie, and I was so excited because y'all know I love people being trapped some damn well, child. But number 8 is Humane. Lord Jesus, y'all. Okay, let's get into Humane. In order to control the population, the government has a euthanasia program in place, right? And we follow one family whose father and stepmother decide to sign up. So the dad invites all of his adult kids for a dinner to drop the news, right? But the stepmother ends up sneaking out and backing out. Now, once they'll get there to, put down the dad and the stepmom, the dad ends up discovering that he can't just back out. He will be considered like a traitor to the country. Now, what the official doesn't tell him is that even though the wife skipped out, they came for 2 bodies, and baby, they is leaving with 2 bodies. So once the dad is dead, he hits the adult kids with that. So the movie is basically all of the siblings locked in the house trying to decide who is the one that's going to die. And they have to be the one, like, first it starts off, they have to pick the person. Then they decide we're going to kill the person. And we also see the official like waiting outside in like an RV with a teenage daughter of one of the siblings. It's just all pretty useless. Again, like the premise, I like the idea. I hated the execution. We follow this rich white family. One of the siblings is adopted. I think he's Hispanic, if I remember correctly. He has a black girlfriend who only pops up to immediately get killed. Really? And the youngest sister in the movie was played by an actress who looks like so much like the actress from A Haunting of Hill House and who played Love on the Netflix show You, that it was really distracting me. But that's neither here nor there. Now, after all the fighting and actively trying to kill the adopted sibling, I mean, we is stabbing niggas and everything. All of a sudden, everybody starts volunteering to die. I'm the oldest. I'm supposed to look out for you guys. I'll be the one to die. Wait, how we get here? With all the topics in the movie, arguments on who gets to live and why, the politics of the euthanasia thing, the movie is actually really, really shallow. I don't know what it's like this had potential and they could have really did something with this, said something, but they didn't. Romney, one of the Tubi originals that I watched for my video on Best Tubi Originals, which if you haven't seen that one, make sure you check it out. While Romney did not make the best list, it's here on the worst list. Yet another smart house horror movie. We have a young girl on the run after she is involved in a hit and run, killing someone. She hides out in this smart house. I thought the movie was crazy with the storyline with this lead girl because she literally kills someone and just parlays in the smart house. Like, and we also end up learning that an innocent person has been arrested for the hit and run. Of course, we are dealing with the sinister stuff with the smart house. But once we defeat all of that, the movie ends, and I don't remember old girl taking responsibility for killing somebody and getting that innocent person up out of jail. Like, I thought that was a really odd side plot because I'm like, well, wait, what happened to that? Romney is as generic and as boring as you can get. I have yet to see a really good, smart house horror movie. And I've seen quite a bit, but they all be terrible, child. But I will say I like how this movie tried to switch it up with the smart house isn't sinister at all. It's actually a person. And while they try to make you believe it's the guy who owns the house, I found it pretty obvious that it wasn't him. Again, predictable. The culprit was actually the guy delivering groceries and weed and all that stuff. Because I told her she done killed somebody, but she don't care. She parlaying. And it was ridiculous. Like, I won't go out with you, so now you have to kill me. That was the guy's whole motive. But they say men aren't emotional. It was just so, I'm like, that's it? Like, that's why you killing folks? Number 6, you can't run forever. Child, it just gets worse from here, okay? We at number 6, and it's only gonna get worse. After catching his wife cheating, a man goes on a murdering spree because men are logical and not emotional. During this spree, he targets a man and his teen stepdaughter. As the lone survivor, the teen ends up being chased through the woods, trying to survive until she can be rescued. The bright spot in this movie was the acting of J.K. Simmons as the psychopath Wade, but there really ain't any other bright spots. Likely the most tedious and dull thriller I have come across in quite a while. There is nothing thrilling here. Now, the movie starts off interesting enough. We find Wade at a gas station and he randomly starts killing people when this guy's like yelling at this poor little dog. But then we're introduced to the teen and her family, and it all goes downhill from there. The family drama and the actors in that family felt like one movie, and then Wade and everything in the woods felt like a separate movie, and then the dopey cops in the police station and where's the sheriff, that all felt like a separate movie as well. It was very weird. Can I talk? It was very weird. There was no real like flow. It didn't feel cohesive for me. The movie never manages to pick up steam or any type of momentum at all. I really feel like sitting through this one was quite painful. Like, why did I even finish that one? I don't need no time. I think I just wanted to get to the end. But yeah, it was pretty bad. Number 5, The Strangers Chapter 1. One of those movies that I only watch to see if it lives up to the hype. Not the good hype. Everybody basically trashed this movie when it was released, and I really felt like, well, it can't be that bad. I feel like hype typically isn't warranted 8 times out of 10, whether it's this is the greatest movie in decades hype, or if it's this is the worst movie in decades hype. I didn't think Imaginary was as bad as most people made it out to be. I didn't think Tarot was as bad as most people made it out to be. But baby, this was pretty fucking bad. Okay, now I am usually the person riding for the remakes and the sequels and the reboots and the requels and the threequels and all that stuff. But what a waste of motherfucking time, money, resources. Like, what did we do this for? What a useless movie. The setting is fine. Small town, cabin, woods. Okay. The couple is terrible. The girl stay pretty and she is like buried and then chased and tried to kill. Why do we do that? But talk about a boring couple. The couple is pretty forgettable. The movie is forgettable. Talk about an uninspiring story. So the top of the movie where the girl is in the cabin by herself, I literally wanted to rip my eyelids off. We watch her play piano, take a shower, talk on the phone, hear a noise, hang out, smoke weed, do her hair. She's literally blow drying her hair. And I'm just like, baby, what are we doing? Like, it felt so, I was just like, okay. The girl ends up seeing a stranger in the house, right? She literally sees the intruder and she runs and sits in the freaking closet with her cell phone in her hand, just sitting there crying. I'm like, bitch, why you don't call the police? Like, your cell phone right there, girl. The entire movie was predictable at every turn. I thought people were exaggerating with how bad this movie is, but y'all, as bad as The Strangers is, oh, it gets worse. It gets worse, okay? Oh, Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. Number 4, The Inheritance. Managed to be worse than Strangers Chapter 1. A billionaire invites his children over in fear that someone is trying to kill him on his 75th birthday, putting their inheritance on the line to ensure that the kids will help him survive the night. I am so annoyed, first of all, just off rip with Hollywood's version of diversity, where they still get their all white main cast and story, and they just throw in one black person for an interracial relationship. They did it in Tarot. And the black character they did it in Imaginary as well. The black character we get doesn't, like, what she does doesn't make any sense. Only the father's kids are supposed to be here, and he gives explicit instructions for that. But his son brings his wife anyway. But then, after telling them that someone is trying to kill him and he needs his kids to help him fight and live and survive, she could leave, baby. She decided to stay. And I'm just like, girl, if you don't get the hell up out of here, get out these white folk-ish. The twist of the movie isn't even deserving of being called a twist. First of all, the only thing I kept thinking was no parent is putting their kids' lives on the line. It is evident from the very beginning that the father is in on this and wants his kids to die. Your kids are popping up dead, and you in the library chilling like you Giles waiting on Buffy. It made no freaking sense. And if someone is coming to kill you and you claim you can't trust your bodyguards, how the hell are your rich, privileged kids qualified to fight to the damn death and protect you? Like, it just was so stupid. We got off-camera deaths, which I hate, janky effects. I saw better creature effects and CGI in like early 2000s movies. Now, this next one that I have might be a hot take. I don't know. It might be. But Immaculate. Immaculate is popping up on the worst list. Okay, I have heard a lot of people praise this movie, so I don't know if this is going to be a shock, but Immaculate, a virgin nun, ends up pregnant and discovers her convent is hiding a sinister agenda. The wonky sound effects when old girl gives birth is deserving of this spot alone. The way I burst out laughing at the sound effects, they were so ridiculous. Then she was screaming. It was killing my ears. I feel like we could have leaned more into like eerie territory with the birth scene, not just screaming at the top of her lungs and weird sound effects. I'm going to be honest. The only reason that I finished this movie, because it was bad, baby. It was bad. The only reason I did not DNF, it was because I couldn't find a remote. I remember it distinctly. My dog was laying on it. And I didn't know till she got up. And by that time, she was giving birth in the woods. And I was like, well, child, I might as well finish it now. Sydney Sweeney isn't a very good actress, in my opinion. I'm so sorry. Beautiful girl. I didn't like the first Omen either, but our lead actress there was at least more interesting and had a lot more depth to her performance. The entire movie is a retread of things we have seen before, time and time again in horror. But the actual horror in the movie is tame. The performances are lacking. But that's not the actor's fault. That the characters are cardboard cutout characters. There was no real character development or understanding of character motivations. People just come out of nowhere just doing shit. I wish the movie played more on the psychological horror, more on the pregnancy horror, the isolation, being somewhere where you don't really understand the language. It's a lot they could have done with this. Oh, and why they never showed us that damn baby? Why they never showed us that baby? Now, I know y'all had enough money in the budget for a mother freaking rubber baby that y'all could have just popped down on that damn screen. I just was like, why they never show us the baby? The whole movie is about her having this mother freaking baby, but we don't get to see the mother freaking baby. Number 2, worst movie of 2024 so far is Tim. One of the first new releases that I watched this year. Lord Jesus, where do I start without being here all day? because I could go on and on about Tim Child. It's so bad. First of all, I am glad to see Regina Campbell getting so much work in horror. It's nice to see a new Scream Queen that isn't white, because y'all know they hire, I won't even say, I can talk about that girl enough, but they hire the same old actress to do every single motherfucking horror movie. But that is where the praise for this movie ends. I need to see her in a much better movie than this. I'm halfway sick of the AI robot, smart house, evil tech horror movies, but it's mainly because they are so fucking generic. They don't tread any new territory at all. Yet another predictable, uninspiring story. Nothing thrilling in this thriller. That seems to be a trend this year. Everyone in the movie is an idiot. Nothing makes sense. The writing feels hapless, lazy. There are so many possibilities when you are dealing with AI and futuristic tech, and they give us the most basic technology here. The AI robot is such a scrub, such a drab character. Then we have this smart woman who is a part of like working on the robot and doing all of that stuff, but she's completely incompetent. Y'all, and then I hate those movies where like there's something obvious going on with a person, a robot, but nobody, the main person don't notice it. I don't know how this number one pick will hold up. Will there be a worse movie to come this year? I hope not. I cannot even believe I am about to fix my lips to say this, but the number one worst movie of 2024 so far is A Quiet Place Day One. I don't know if I am in an alternate universe or what. I adore the first two Quiet Place movies, and I was so hyped for day one. First of all, nothing about the fucking movie is day one. Like, what? How the hell is the military there on day one? Our government is not that motherfucking efficient. They not. I'm sorry. The government does not assemble help that damn fast. Like an hour after everything pops off, the military here, and then we got the boats to get people. No, I don't buy it. This ain't day one. The theme of this year seems to be boring. This movie just about put me the hell to sleep. The entire movie is so lackluster. I literally spent the whole movie like waiting for something to happen. Like, okay, I know something finna pop off. I know they finna give us like a great third act at least. This movie felt like a first draft script. The biggest sin of all. Why the hell is Demon Hensu here? Why is he here? After the disrespect of that Penny Annie role they put him in with the previous Quiet Place film, I thought they brought him back to right those wrongs. No, they brought him back to give him an even smaller goddamn role. Do y'all not know who this man is? If y'all don't put some respect on his name, all I could think while watching this movie was, God, I am so bored. I literally took notes and I put, God, I'm so bored. That's literally all my notes say. And then to finally put a Black person in a prominent role in this franchise only to make them the sacrificial Negro trope, like for real, that's the best y'all could do. Guys, I this just pissed me off so bad. I mean, I can't. But that was my 10 worst. That was my 10 worst of the year. So far. Hey Kate, thank you for being in the live. Have you seen Long Legs yet? Unrelated to the video, but I'm curious. No, I have not seen Long Legs yet. I hope it's good, because this year just ain't doing it, child. Stay Fly, thank you for being here in the live. I agree, Nikki, it was trash. Yeah, Lord Jesus. Quiet Place Day One being so bad hurt my heart. It hurt my soul. Like, it wasn't even like mediocre, tolerable. It was fucking bad. But guys, if you would like to see me do a full review on any of the movies on this list so you can hear my full thoughts on the movie, let me know in the comments. I think I want to do a full video on The Strangers, because I just want to rant about that fucking movie. I want to do a rant on Day One and The Inheritance, but that's just what I got in my head right now. But if you enjoyed the content and want to help Super thanks is always appreciated. Super chat, comment is free, a like is free. Make sure you are subscribed. Remember, this channel keeps going because of the support of the subscribers. And upcoming content, Bad Boys Ride or Die will be hitting streaming on July 23rd. Oh, that's today. We'll be hitting streaming today. And I wanted to start doing a watch along, and I was thinking I would start with Bad Boys Ride or Die. That will be coming to streaming. I also have to figure out what day I'm doing that, because I just got asked to do the Netflix Dirty Pop, the boy band scam. They're coming out with a little documentary. So I will be on a panel doing that this Friday at 8:35 Central. I also have my 20 best comedies of all time ranked. That will likely be up tomorrow. And of course, every Saturday, 5 p.m. Central, we have KillerCon, and we will be back with our KillerCon horror panel on this Saturday. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. We got something else. But let me know any other ideas you guys have for like watch alongs and other content. And thank you guys so much for everyone who popped up in this live. If you're here, make sure you hit like. Have you talked about Supercell? I have not. I watched it for about 5 minutes, and it was a bunch of black stereotypes, and I cut it off. But if it's any good, I will give it a chance. But no, I have not talked about it. But thank you guys so much for being here in the live, and I will see you in the next one.
Goodbye.